On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan budget deal to keep the government running in the new year has just collapsed. Republican members backed away yesterday when President-elect Donald Trump came out against the plan after his close ally, that's billionaire Elon Musk, spent much of the day denouncing it. And now House Speaker Mike Johnson is facing new questions about his future. Scott MacFarlane is on Capitol Hill. Scott, good morning to you. A lot to unpack here.
Hey, Gayle, good morning. When Congress returns here this morning, they'll have to come up with some plan at the last minute to avert a government shutdown and fund the government after a well-crafted plan collapsed quite quickly last night after Elon Musk intervened.
Chaos reigned on Capitol Hill Wednesday, just days before a potentially paralyzing federal government shutdown, which threatens paychecks for millions of federal workers and contractors.
It's just a train wreck, but it was a train wreck you could see coming.
Congress was on the verge of passing a sweeping 1,500-page plan to fund the government through March, while offering tens of billions of dollars to homeowners in flood-devastated communities and the first pay raise for members of Congress in 15 years. Until President-elect Donald Trump's billionaire ally, Elon Musk, began a relentless series of posts on social media, calling the bill pork, declaring it dead, and saying any lawmaker who supported it should be voted out of office. Followed by Trump himself, writing that the bill, which will require potentially dozens of Democratic votes, should eliminate Democratic giveaways, sparking this response.
House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown or worse.
But as CBS News has reported, areas devastated by Hurricane Helene, including flood-ravaged Damascus, Virginia, where Ralph Wilson lost his restaurant, were counting on this week's congressional spending bill to finally start rebuilding.
There's got to be a light at the end of the tunnel, you know? But it just seems like things just keep happening that, set me back.
I cannot imagine how I could go back to the folks in Southwest Virginia and say, we've kicked the can again on their future because Congress didn't do its job.
And this uncertainty causes political problems for the U.S. House Speaker. Mike Johnson will begin next year with the narrowest of Republican majorities, with 0 votes to spare at times, and he has to win a vote to be the House Speaker January 3rd. And Gayle, one of his Republican colleagues, told us last night that Johnson has already lost his support.
Boy, things are getting very dicey. Train wreck and chaos, never words you want to hear in this type of conversation. But Scott, before you go, we keep hearing that there are developments in that ethics investigation concerning Matt Gaetz. What can you tell us about that? We all know he was Donald Trump's first pick for Attorney General.
Yeah, the bipartisan House Ethics Committee has voted to eventually release its investigation into allegations that Gaetz denies of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. Gaetz has criticized this decision, saying he was exonerated by a Justice Department investigation. And this is really a surprise because typically the House Ethics Committee drops its cases when somebody resigns, which Gaetz did last month. This will likely come out after members of Congress leave town. But Gayle, Gaetz has acknowledged in a statement last night the investigation will include embarrassing details and that he was playing hard in his 30s. But again, that he says he was fully exonerated when the feds investigated.
All right, a lot of people want to read this report still. Scott, thank you very much.